There is one condition that many artists and music makers suffer from, including myself: perfectionism, and it really hurts productivity. First, you need to understand why perfectionism is so bad. I speak from experience, since this is something I have struggled with my whole life. I hope that this video will make you aware of your own tendency of perfectionism and that you will strive to cure yourself from it. Remember, perfectionism and productivity are like mortal enemies. So if you truly want to become more productive, you need to get rid of or at least reduce the tendencies for perfectionism. Let me share why. You improve faster from experience. If you think about it, the best way to learn is from your own mistakes. It's just as when we start to learn to speak or walk in the beginning of our lives. We stumble, we fall, we do not know all the words, and we cannot even pronounce every letter. But still we try and we improve by making mistakes again and again. The point is that the best way to learn is from your mistakes. 2. One completed task is way better than 10 nearly done. I make music and I have hundreds of unfinished tracks on my computer. Honestly, most of them will probably never get finished. It is a bad habit, and I much rather have one finished track per week instead of 10 unfinished ideas. 3. Perfection is an illusion. I am guilty myself of spending hours upon hours trying to perfect my music mixes, adjusting EQs, levels, effects, and so on to get a perfect sound and track. But perfection is merely an illusion, and on top of that, the illusion is subjective. So even after countless of hours trying to achieve what you believe is perfection, no one else will see or hear the end result with your eyes, or ears in this case. What you see as perfection, another person might see as garbage. 4. Progress feeds motivation. Have you ever had that good feeling of pride and joy after sharing your final work with the world? Then you know that this feeling really boosts your motivation, which in turn can make you more productive if you use that energy boost to start making your new next thing. Every time you finish a project or task, it will add to your momentum of energy and motivation. And this is great for productivity. 5. The 90% rule. Have you ever heard of the law of diminishing returns? Basically, it means that the closer you get to that illusionary 100% perfection, the more time you will need to work for every percent improvement. For example, let's say that it takes 1 hour to get your creation to 50% quality. If you spend another hour on it, you might get to 80% quality. Spend a third hour and perhaps you are up on 90%. If you choose to spend a fourth hour, you might get to 92%. Hold on, that is only 2% increase for the same amount of time that it took you to get from 0 to 50% in the first hour. This is the law of diminishing returns. So as an example, you might spend 100 hours to get one single track to 98% perfection, or spend the same amount of time, that is 100 hours, to complete 30 tracks up to 90% perceived perfection level. And remember, quality is in the eye of the beholder. Alright? Now you know some of the most important facts of why you should avoid perfectionism. So, how do you actually cure it, or at least reduce it? Well, here are some of the ways I have personally applied and that have worked for me. 1. add mistakes on purpose. Whenever I feel I get stuck in perfectionist mode, I add a couple of mistakes on purpose. You have to get used to the notion that nothing is perfect and neither should you strive towards that illusion. Personally, I used to take up to an hour to complete a single business email sometimes, simply because of my perfectionism. These emails should have only taken me perhaps 5 to 10 minutes at the most. So, I have started to force myself to start adding a couple of spelling mistakes on purpose, to get rid of the feeling that I have to write a perfect email. This mindset shift have drastically improved my daily communication productivity, and the same principle could be applied in anything you do. 2. Keep your eyes on the prize. If you find yourself stuck in perfectionism mode, close your eyes and think about the amazing feeling you get when you complete a project. This can help you get back on track, so to speak, and make you finish your project faster. 3. Speed work sessions. I also recommend you to try out doing speed work sessions regularly. Basically, this means that you set a time limit to complete a project you usually spend way more time on. Well, by doing a speed work session and setting a timer on, let's say, 1 hour, you must force yourself to see past the imperfections and focus on getting to the end result in just 1 hour. You will be amazed at what you can do by having a deadline like this. Alright, now it's time for you to take action. Write a list of things you usually spend more time on than you probably should, and also write a list of possible solutions that can help you reduce your tendency of going into perfectionist mode. Then get right on it and apply these solutions in practice. I'm Mike, signing out, and you rock, my friends.